The rumors. Yes, sir. Well, I would gently push back and say we're really not the ones spending it. We disperse it to the school districts, and then the school districts do it. So we have not had requests for all that money yet. And so basically, as we field requests, we do it. You know, the school districts have gotten a lot of money over this period of time, and so some of the earlier iterations, you know, some of them are still working through that. So it is absolutely not a situation where we're not willing to disperse. As we get requests in, we will absolutely disperse. But many school districts haven't necessarily asked for a lot yet, and so we'll see how that goes. But it's all dependent upon those requests. We are not spending it directly. Well, there is some money but for the school districts, you know, that is something that is dispersed to the districts, and then they're spending. And when they submit the request and do it, we can do it. But this is only one of many different pots of money that has been sent down. There's been a lot of money that's been dedicated to this, so they've had access to a lot of different funds. So it's a great question. How long will this be open, and how long will it be free to most people? Certainly, given the relationship between the federal government and Regeneron, we anticipate the Regeneron remaining to be free for the foreseeable future. We think that that's important. We think it's important that this is something that's accessible to all. How these sites are going to go, you know, we have no plans now to stop doing this in the foreseeable future. As certain sites perform less, you know, we may move some stuff around. I mean, we have some sites that just don't do as much traffic, and that's fine. In some respects, it's a good thing. Maybe there's probably fewer people that need the treatment, but we'll look at that. I do think, though, that this was really, we did this, it's like necessity is the mother of invention. We saw that people didn't know about this. We saw that a lot of people in the medical community didn't know about it or didn't know it was available, so we felt the need to come in and do it. Ideally, you would have the medical community be able to just handle this as a matter of course. So we're looking at different ways that could potentially be done, but as long as there's a need for it, you know, we want to be part of this. My hope is that we get to the point where obviously the Regeneron, I'd like to have Glaxo and Eli Lilly one. I hope that's readily available throughout Florida. We're working and seeing kind of where that is. Obviously, a lot of the hospitals and doctors, they will just draw this down directly. It doesn't involve the state government. And really, the Regeneron is drawn down directly by providers, too. It's not all like we're dispersing all of it. They get it drawn down and sent. Now, we can get it drawn down and sent to us, too, and that's what we're doing for these sites. So I think you're going to see hopefully an expansion with some of these other monoclonals, which will be good and hopefully will prove to be as effective as Regeneron. And then it's something where you don't even need to potentially have a site. But we're not there yet, and we think that this is something that has helped an awful lot of people, and we want to continue to be helpful in terms of what folks need to be able to recover. You know, when you're talking about this, and you know, we've heard, I mean, the stories we get are just unbelievable. You know, there was a lady in Jacksonville, she spoke at one of our events. She was passed out on the floor in the antibody site, and it went viral. And she basically said, look, I was on day 9. I was headed right to the ICU. My mother told me that the state had set this up. She saw the governor's press conference. I dragged myself to the site in Jacksonville, got the treatment, and a couple days later, I was on my feet. No chance of going to the hospital or anything. And so you think about that, and for too long, people were basically told there's nothing that can be done until you get to be hospitalized. And that's just obviously not true. And so we want people to know that getting in early and taking action can make all the difference. And so, yes, number one goal, early treatment, saving lives. But also, even if just to be hospitalized is no fun, even though most people that get hospitalized recover, that's no fun to have to be in the hospital for 5 days or 7 days. So if we can resolve this short of that, man, we got to take that opportunity too. It also helps to have, you're seeing a big decompression now with the declining hospitalizations. You know, that's very important just because staff is tight in medical everywhere in the country. When the COVID census goes up, it really strains a lot of the folks who are working on the front lines. And they've done a really good job in Florida. We really appreciate it. But that's another factor that really helps everybody out. And then just the people to get on their feet quicker. People, they have families, they have jobs, they have stuff they got to tend to. And to be able to take an illness that could be a 10 to 12 day deal where they're bedridden, even short of hospitalization, if that can be resolved in days with the symptoms going away and you feeling better, man, that's so much better for themselves, their families, and everything around them. So it's really important to do, and we're going to continue to do it. We are not fully done with the sites. So we had done the 21, and we thought that it was pretty good, but then we did hear from people that said, hey, I had to drive all the way to Brevard, or some folks in the Panhandle had to drive all the way to Fort Walton Beach from like Pensacola. And not that those are like 4-hour drives, but when you're sick, that's not the easiest thing to do. So we said, okay, where can we add it to make it more convenient? So Osceola County, one of them. We're going to do another one in Highlands County to help with some of the rural communities. So that's going to come online this week. We did start one in Pensacola to supplement the Fort Walton and the Panama City. So you have 3 now in the Florida Panhandle, and then we're working for another one on the east coast of Florida in Palm Coast. Hopefully be able to announce that very soon. So that is, from Jacksonville down, there's going to be a bunch of them on that I-95 corridor. Obviously here in Central Florida, very good, strong in Tampa Bay, Southwest, and that's really the name of the game. So we think that this will make a difference. And again, starting tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., 300 patients can be seen at this site. And so if you're somebody that is COVID positive, particularly if you're older, if you have cardiovascular issues, if you're overweight, if you have diabetes, if you have kidney problems, if you have some of those underlying comorbidities that have seen the most severe COVID cases, the people that end up being hospitalized, please take advantage of this. Of course, consult with your physician, talk to your family. This is not mandatory. This is just for your availability. But if you can come in and get this early, the chance of you being up on your feet increases dramatically. So we're happy to be here and look forward to serving a lot of patients.